Shus HaTzibur. There's I think a story that we've all been through at some time in our life. Perhaps we've been there as the parent, perhaps there as the child. But you ever go to the doctor's office and you bring your child in? Perhaps the child, when he gets to the doctor's office, is a bit apprehensive, and we make him feel at ease, and we have all the toys for the child to play with, and eventually his turn comes to go to the doctor, and you go into the doctor, and unfortunately he'll get a shot, zrika, and the child will cry. We as parents have brought our children in to get shots. We as children have been brought in by our parents to get shots. And you got a shot. So all the serenity and the toys and all the good feeling suddenly go away, and the child begins to cry, and rightfully so. And that's why we tried to dress it up and make it as sweet as possible to begin with. I think I remember, still as a boy, one of my brothers had hepatitis, and I had to get one of those shots, and I remember crying from it, just holding it in. I was a big boy, I was trying to be a big boy, but holding it in. And the child's reaction is that obviously the doctor is the enemy, right? The doctor is the enemy, that's pretty clear. I don't mean if they're doctors here, they're not the enemy, but doctors are the enemy in the doctor's office. Certainly in Eretz Yisrael, the doctors are not the enemy because you can hardly find them when you're in the hospital, but if the doctors are the enemy, so there. Child is crying, he got his shot, his boo-boo, his thing, wherever he got it. And who does he turn to? So he runs to his mother, give me a hug. Runs to his father, give me a hug. But let's just think about this for a moment. I'm saying, Mommy and Daddy brought you here, right? We're the ones who brought you into that venom, that guy with the big needle and so on, with the covering, the white coat. We're the ones who brought you here. So why does a child instinctively run to the parents? Why does he have that emun in the parents? The doctor's the bad guy, the nurse is the bad guy, but mom and dad, they're fine. We see the relationship that the child has. He has trust in his parents. He has emunah. The doctor, I don't know what the doctor is. Doctor is doing something good, he's not doing something good. I know my mommy and my daddy, they love me. I know the person who takes care of me, that person loves me. We have a relationship, we have a connection, and we have emun. So, I'm going to talk about emunah today. Okay, now I just want to say, when I hear the words emunah, I normally shut down. Like, to talk about emunah, what's that? I don't know, it's nothing to do with me. Emunah, I can't talk about emunah. Maybe that's a women's organization in America, Emunah. Maybe I can imagine my mom on the phone with the Emunah people the whole time as when I was a kid. Maybe a little post-trauma on that. All the time spent helping out Emunah. But a lot of cute references, right? So, you have that Emunah, the child has that Emunah. And I want to help build that for us a little bit in their parent. No matter, I was brought here to the doctor's office. I was given this shot. And I don't like the doctor, and I know that it's good for me. All the seichel in the world, now the doctor's here to help us, and the doctor is our friend, and the doctor is this. So how come you always talk bad about it? No, but the doctor is this. But the emunah, you still have in your parent. It's inherently there, and it'll be there in most situations, even in the most difficult situations, and the tried relationships between parent and child, but there's a lot of emunah over there. I'm going to talk about first another story of emunah that I'd like to say over. In the I think it was the Cove in the ghetto, there was a Yid, Chashav Yid, Talmid Chacham, Rav Mordechai Pogromansky. I think I'm saying it right. And he was a Talmud of Telz. And many things after the Milchama and the DP camps, he was mechazik many Yidden. Tremendous, his strength, his resolve, his guidance. There were other Talmidei Chachamim over there, and he gently explained to other people that they really kaifer him and be careful. But still back in the ghetto, there was a story that the Germans, before liquidating the ghetto, obviously in their systematic way of doing things, they first got rid of the young and the old, the children, and they actually came to take the children. And they went from house to house in the ghetto, from hovel to hovel, we should say, and they took the children out of the ghetto. And this is obviously, for those even in the most trying of times, this was an extremely trying time. And some of the people in the ghetto walked by the homes of where people had their children taken. And the sight was not pashut. And outside of many of these homes, people that were in the homes in the ghetto, which they didn't have many possessions, but maybe they had with them still a challah cover, or a becher, or some other religious article, a sefer. Those articles, by many, were thrown out the window and were strewn all over the streets of the ghetto. And these Bachrim and those that saw this were shaken to the core. They took our children, they've taken our life, and here they are. Now the Yidden themselves, they're throwing out their last vestige, their last connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Torah mitzvahs, and it's out there in the street to be trampled. And they went to Rav Mordechai Pogomansky. They said, how could this be? Now, for those in the ghetto, they might be able to ask the question. They said, it's kfira. We can't ask that question. We're not there. We're not holding on any of these levels. But they said, where's their Emunah? Hashem is their father. How could they throw these things out the window? That was their question to Mordechai. Mordechai said to them, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. You've got it all wrong. If they didn't have Emunah, they wouldn't throw anything out the window. Lo akhbat li. Lo kashur alai. A person has a relationship with your father, with your mother. I have to be honest, sometimes you get upset. Sometimes you get upset. You have kas. So Mordechai said, it's not a lack of Emunah. Emunah they have. Connected to the Rebbeinu Shalom, they are. Even when they get a shot, you run to your mother and father. But you know what? Sometimes you cry, and sometimes you kick, and sometimes you throw a temper tantrum. So Mordechai says, this is kas. This is not a lack of Emunah. But this is kas. This is the difficult times in our relationship. So first we begin, you get your shot, naturally you run to your mother. Naturally you run to your father. Naturally you run to your caretaker. You have Emunah in those people. And even if there's a situation where one did not do that, that does not necessarily mean that they no longer believe in their caregiver. They no longer believe in the person that they are connected to, or they no longer believe to their Rebbeinu Shalom. If you reacted poorly in a situation, it's not because you don't have Emunah, it's because you have kas. You have to work on kas. It doesn't turn you into a kaifer. The Emunah is in Klal Yisrael, and it's nishrash deep in Klal Yisrael. The Maisa, just as I'm saying this, I said this over the Siyam Hashas in the shul, reminded the Rav Lau says a beautiful story that I think at the beginning of Glasnost he went to Moscow, and he was invited to a shul in Moscow. Now Moscow does not have many shuls. Moscow was beyond the pale of settlement for Yidden back in Tsarist Russia. There was only the Bolshoi, the main synagogue in Moscow. A big, empty, pretty nice building I've been in. There's a famous story. I think that there was a Magen David, and it was too high. It was one of the Tsar's nephews made a cross when he saw it, so he thought it was he thought it was not a shul, but rather a place for them, and they wanted to destroy it because of that. But somehow the shul has survived. But there was another shul. It was a small shul that's about 100 years old now, that was built by Lenin. After the revolution, Lenin allowed, we have equality, we allow Jews to be here, and he built a shul. He allowed them to build a very small shul. I think Ahavas Shalom is a palace in comparison to the shul that Lenin built in Moscow. Okay? For sure, a palace as far as Talmid Chacham, Sfarim, and the Rav, that's for sure. and the wonderful people inside, and this breakfast is gewaldig. But Lenin let them build a shul. So Rabbi Lau came to the shul, and instead of there being a shvisi by the chazan, it was an Ona Hashem Malta Nafshi. We say that in Hallel, Ona Hashem Malta Nafshi. Ona Hashem, please Hashem, have my soul be able to escape. So he asked the people there, and they were young, but they found some older Yidden in the back. And they said, why did they write? Here we're talking about the mid-80s. Why did they write back there in 1917, Ona Hashem Malta Nafshi? Why is that the Kituv instead of Shvisi Hashem Lanei Summit? So the Russians, the Alta Russians, the Alta Yidden over there said, listen, Lenin took over, so he gave us a shul. Yeah, he promised us, and at the time we believed, we'll have parnasa, we'll have equality, we'll have certain of the things that we did not have until now. Maybe we'll have a good life, we'll have the workers' paradise, comrade, yeah? But we knew what was going to be with our soul. We weren't going to make it out. And we had one bakasha. An Hashem Malta Nafshi. Please take care of my soul. Because you can have all the physical things and all the things that you need, but you need a special siyata d'shmaya, and even more so when you have plenty, to get your soul to be saved. After Avlau left, the shul was promptly burnt down by anti-Semitic groups in the Glasnost Russian society, and years later he was asked to come back finally for Chanukah Sabayis. He came back for the Chanukah Sabayis as Rav Harashi or whatever, and the shul was burnt down. And he was broken on Hashem Malta Nafshi, it's all missing. And right before he came up to speak, they said there's only one thing that survived. Maybe two Sifrei Torah, and this piece of wood from the Chazan. And he looked at it and said, Ana Hashem Malta Nafshi. And that is what survived from the shul, which is built by Lenin. It's the most important thing, is Ana Hashem Malta Nafshi. But back to Emunah. So we have two stories of Emunah. That we reacted, under difficult times, we went back to our parents. In difficult times, we throw things out the window, away from our parents. Either way, Mordechai is still telling us that we have Emunah. We're still connected to Rabbi Shalom, even though it doesn't look so positive. But a person still, inherently, will still have Emunah, and that's what Mordechai told us. So, as I said, these are nice stories, deep meaning, and there's a lot of truth to that. When I think between myself, and if I wanted to be realistic with myself, so I say to myself, where is my Emunah? Do I have Emunah? This is going to be tacky, I like to believe I have Emunah, but do I have Emunah? So I'd like to read from a Volbin, for a moment if we can, a little bit about Emunah, and to tell everybody that they have a lot more Emunah than they might have thought that they actually do have. So in Alei Shur, in the first chelik of Alei Shur, in the 17th parak, so first thing says the Mashkiach Reishis, Emunah is one of the koiches that it is not possible to exist without Emunah. Emunah is the cornerstone of existence, says Rav Olbe. So right away, okay, I'm in trouble. Where's my Emunah? How do I be a part of existence? Anu soimchin al b'nei adam, we rely on people. Kol od sheloi hugzaku shakranim. We rely on people, we believe in people, until that we know that this person is a liar. Kol hayachasim hachevratiyim, all our social interactions and the country's interaction in the world are based and are built on mutual belief. Ubiladav Ein chayenu chayim. We have no life without Emunah. Halokeach, when you're a customer, a consumer, Mamin l'moicher, you believe in the moicher, meaning you see how many likes he has, or how he's rated, or whatever that is. Yeah. Shesachoisa mishubachas. He's got good schayra. Mishamachir, and it's a good price. Obviously, he didn't shop in some of the places we've been. Hachoyla noisin imun beroife. A sick person believes in his doctor. Hatalmud beraboy v'arav b'tamidoi. Right? I saw when Rabbi Kaplan was speaking later. It's one of the books, that story, the football player who was out drinking for the night and so on. So he said, I wasn't out drinking. He said, so where were you? We locked the doors. He says, well, I slept in the hammock outside. He said, well, no, we threw that away 3 weeks ago. He said, well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, so that's it. So, very yashur dikka guy. Emunah. Fine. Yeah, Emunah. He believes in himself. He believes in Tzidkas HaDerech Shelo. But everywhere we go, Rabbi Isai, is Emunah. Everywhere you're going to step is Emunah. Hashoifet eni yochol esmoyach ala nesham avomamin hu le'edim. V'kama chazak ha'emun shayeled roichesh lahayu, of the belief that a child has for his parent. Holding me in my arms, I'm at home, I'm there with my mother, I'm there with my father. That connection. Hayachasim ha'bein lu'umim t'kinim. The world lives that we could believe our leaders. Baruch Hashem, we all know that Putin is telling the truth. We can all put in our faith in him because he is a reliable fellow, that he will kill anyone that he wants. But when things start to fall apart, can we believe? Is that really true? Did he really do that? Watergate, Russiagate, whatever it is. But you have to have Emunah. Koyach noirahu. It's a tremendous strength, Emunah. Luhoisa nirkeves bleiv adam echad kol Emunah. If a person completely lost all Emunah, right? And shelo yisha Emunah ba'olam she'amin boy ain't kiyam la'adam zeh. If a person has no Emunah, you're not a part of the world. You cannot live. You cannot exist. I don't trust you. I don't this. Maybe they call that paranoid or whatever it is. But when a person loses imun, he can't trust his wife, he can't trust his children, he can't trust his rav, he can't trust his doctor. Everyone is out to kill him. And everyone is out to get him. But the basic thing that everybody needs to have is emunah. Now, it's a chizuk for us. It's a chizuk for me. You can't live without emunah. That means everyone inherently has emunah. You could misuse your emunah, or you cannot misuse your emunah. But emunah is a koyach that everybody has. And I'll prove it to you, because if not, you cannot exist, as we've always. Because without emunah, no one will believe that nothing is going on. I'm not being taped, I'm not really here. The food is badatz. Is the food badatz? Who bought the food? Is that really milk? Is that iced coffee, or is that soy milk? By the way, the mazonis is shahakal today. It's still kasher l'pesach. No, emunah, that's not what it is. There's basic emun. Right? I mean, we're not trying to get clinically of non-emun, but that is also emun. So it continues evolving. Margish kol adam dchifa pnimis. Every person has an inner feeling. Everyone is trying to understand the mysteries of life. Why am I short? Why am I tall? Why am I a Jew? Why am I living here? Why do I have a bad pekel? Why do I have a good pekel? Everyone is trying. They're constantly, everyone. That disappointment, that anger, you're trying to figure out, what's my place in life? What's my place here in this world? Why do I have what I have? There's no such thing as a person who does not believe. Gam ha-koifer mamin. Even the heretic believes. In Beshita, now I'm not trying to be like Tziyom Atzmut today as far as Zionism and so on, but in Beshita, in Berayon, everyone believes in something, right? Maybe not today, but it would seem in the beginning, so in the early 1900s, there was either, Marxism or capitalism or Zionism or Bolshevikism, but there was always something. Everyone believed in something. Everyone had belief. In Berayon, in Ba'adam, U'ba'emunah zu heinem ko adukim. They get so into it. She'enim royim by ko pagam v'chol stir. No, this is the way. You know, before you had ways, I thought I had a good sense of direction. This is the way. So why did it take us 3 hours to go 15 minutes? That's the best way to do it. Right? Because I believe. I will not ask directions. Who says I should trust that guy, right? I know everything. We believe in ourselves. Ways came along and taught us that maybe there is a shorter way. Maybe. Umamshichim lahamin ba'alil k'shahal kvar mufrach v'nishba l'v'sisir. The Emunah people, in their rayonot, in their ways, in their mahalach that they've chosen for themselves, is so strong that they continue to believe into it, even if it was destroyed. Le'nei kol. I'm sleeping in the hammock. There's no hammock. Ki amunasam shal bilti maminim. That's the worst Emunah. Be'emunah, be'emes Emunah iveresi. It's blind Emunah. But Emunah everybody has. I remember also once reading, without getting into pratim, meaning you could believe. I'm not getting involved. You could believe in Zionism, you believe in a state, you believe in many different things. But to force other people to do something because of that, but to uproot other people that have been living a Torah lifestyle for 2,000 years, or for you, for that matter, for anything else. That was, by the way, I just want to put that into perspective. A lot of people, even my daughter, she came home from school, and one of the teachers was making fun of Yom Ha'atzmaut and so on. You know, is there a mitzvah to fan the fire? I said that's not on the level. Yeah, it's not on the level. It's just ridiculous. Something to make fun of. There's a lot of Hakaras HaTov. I'm sure the Rav, I don't know what the Rav spoke about. A lot of Hakaras HaTov. There's a lot of tremendous milas and many things that we need to be thankful for. But on the other hand, we need to be very careful because we are still in Galus. We still have Nisyonis. And we still have to make sure that whatever is being presented is really the Tova Seinu. And our Tova is always being close to the Rebbeinu Shalom. But when someone takes their Shita and wants to go against. So, Klal Yisrael has a tremendous koyach of Emunah. Mankind has a tremendous koyach of Emunah. And says Rav Olby, and that is the basis of life. So, I say to you, let's talk about Emunah today. And I say, well, I would shut down because I don't. Emunah, I think, I believe, don't believe. First thing is that this midah, this koyach is close to everybody here. It is a midah, it is a koyach that we all live with, and we live on, and without it we could not exist. Our only avodah right now is to channel and make sure that we're using the emunah for the right thing and not for the wrong thing. To use this tremendous koyach that we have to live with emunah in the right way. Now let me say that emunah is the most difficult thing. The other day, someone in the shul by us, his son was talking to another Talmud Chacham in the shul. And it was a beautiful conversation. It was a young 13-year-old talking to someone who's an educator, and I saw that they really hit it off, and I thought it was a beautiful kesher for this bar mitzvah boy to have, but someone who's a Baal Machshava, a Baal Musar, and a Talmud Chacham. It's a beautiful thing. And obviously, discussions of Emunah and so on come up, and the father came to speak to me. We have to teach more about Emunah and so on, because if everyone was taught all about Emunah, they would have it. So I said, I agree that you must have a kesher. You have a kesher with your Rebbe. You have your kesher you have a connection with someone who's a Talmud Chacham, a Baal Midas, someone who's older than you. These are all very, very positive things. But I cannot give you Emunah. Emunah has to be belief. At some point, the person has to believe, and that only you could do. Because if I prove it to you, it's not Emunah. Rav Olba says, our nisyonis continue. It's in a different piece, not in this one. And a person is shaken and has questions in faith because if you basically just got older and now came to terms with, well, I guess that's the way things are, and I believe in Hashem. Right now, once you say, okay, I believe in Hashem, you're ready for a new nisayon. Because you have to live with Emunah. So if you say, I know there's Hashem, there is Hashem, so then there's no Emunah. Because knowing is not Emunah. Emunah is Emunah. So it will be the most difficult task. Because when you finally found your comfort zone in Emunah and turned that into Yediyah, then you have to go back and get another test to get closer and have Emunah. So I told the father, have a connection, always have that love, know where to run to, even when you throw the becher and the talis cover or whatever it is out the window. But know that that person in that ghetto, that's his Nisayin in Emunah, that's not our Nisayin, we're not holding them. But that's his Nisayin in Emunah, and it'll get worse. And his Nisayin will be in the Emunah right before he steps into the guest chambers. That's also his Avodah in Emunah. But it'll always be moving, because it has to be belief. So on the one hand, it's never ending, but we live with that koyach in our life. Day by day, we go with these steps of Emunah. So what could we possibly do ourselves in connecting with Emunah? After we've said how much we have it, how much we use it, and how important it is, and how vital it is for our survival, and how can I have shaykhs to that? Now, I'm gonna steal something from Rabbi Zacharish, if I may. Is he here? I don't know if he said this. Maybe he'll say it over. You know what? I shouldn't. He may say the story over the next. No, but maybe like next Shabbos or something. What? Everyone will make like they never heard the story before, right? It'll be our little secret. We'll say it between. I can trust you, right? I have emun in you fellas. You look like believable chevra. Okay? Maybe he spoke about this then, but it's okay because I want to illustrate it. Because when I heard the story of Lil Shabbos by Rabbi Scharish's home. So I was like, I don't know what he said, Eli, you're going to love this, you can use it as a story. Like, what, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with it, but I think it's going to be very important here for us. And did he mention anything about the Brisker Rav's daughter, Rebbetzin Schiff, who's now in California? Okay, we're ready. So, it was off the record. Okay, so the story is, Rebbetzin Schiff is the daughter of the Brisker Rav. And she was now just in California, United States, having a medical procedure. And by the Ichsanya, which she was staying, a common friend of Rabbi Zacharish and I was there also in California then. And he related the Balachsanya, the following story to our friend. That when they were fleeing the Germans, the Nazis, there was a Shabbos that they were Mechal Shabbos to get away from the Germans. You hear the story? You hear the story? No, it's a new story. No one's heard the story till like it just came out now in California. It's like fresh from California. Can you imagine such a thing? Story from the Brisker Rav in California. Can you imagine? Who would believe such a thing would happen? So, Motzi Shabbos. There's not much of Motzi Shabbos. Whole Shabbos is Mechal Shabbos. So Motzi Shabbos, the Brisker Rav's daughter, Rebbetzin Rivka Schiff, soon to be, who was 18 years old at the time, said to her father, "A gute Nacht." A gute Nacht. Good night. The Brisker Rav was extremely upset. Maybe in our day we would say did something not chinuchi. He actually hit his daughter. 17, 18 years old. It's not a good night. It's a good vach. It's a good week. You're mechal a whole Shabbos. So you'll think it's just a regular night. It almost sounded that way. No, it's not a good night. It's a good vach. On Motzi Shabbos, you say, have a good week. And this was Shabbos. I will not tolerate the chilul of Shabbos that is not for Pikuach Nefesh. And just because you're Machal Shabbos Pikuach Nefesh, it's Shabbos. It was Shabbos today. Okay, he felt that was important to entrench it to his daughter. How a person speaks, what a person says. It's what's going on the inside. That's who you are. And the Brisker Rav said, it has to be clear. This is a good devach. Okay. Parshas Mitzvah, Lashon Hara, Dibur, don't talk Lashon Hara, but the Dibur is Chashiv. Okay, that was my connection to the Parsha. But the Kohen in Parshas Mitzvah says Tahor. He says Tam. His Dibur. How can his Dibur could affect the status of this Negav as Tahor or Tam? How is his Dibur doing that? What's that special Kohen that the Kohen has? How many Kohanim here in the room? Any Kohanim here in the room? This is one of those non-Kohanim shuls. Is there any Kohanim in the shul? Ein Kan Kohen? Well, don't be embarrassed. What?
Here, there now.
It was here a minute ago. Oh, right. The MC. He's probably giving a bracha to somebody. So, I asked the Kohanim in Shul, I said, how do you duchen every day? Imagine that thing. My cousin flew in from the United States, and he davened Musaf for the Amud by us. Poor guy, when he took off his shoes, there was a hole in the sock. And, for us, there's a hole in my sock, and my sock's holy, that's my business, yeah? For a Kohen, is he have happy socks, do they match? He has to have a hole in them, does he have to go on, on a cold floor. He finally, other paper towels to dry his hands. For years in Israel, there was no such thing as paper towels. They were very environment friendly and used towels just to spread disease. But the Kohen, he's finally got his davening, has to end the Shemona Esrei early. You're a Kohen, no?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's you. You're the guy pouring the water, huh? Right? And then he can't even pour his water. Something pouring. He has to run up there. He has to yivarech. And then after two, yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. You, my neighbor, who's leaking down. Yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. Hashem panav elecha v'yichuneka. Hashem should give you chen. You, the guy that drove into my car yesterday. Hashem panav elecha v'yasemecha shalom. You should have shalom. You're the guy that's suing me in court. How do you get up to every day, barefoot and wet, with holy socks, and give brachas to everybody around them and say, everybody? Could you do that every day? Could you do that every day? I heard of a performer, these guys at the wedding, they're playing music and enjoying, everyone's loving it, sometimes even big names. One of these weddings, at 3 p.m., he finished in Bezdin with the get for his daughter. Okay? At 5, he's testing, right? At 6, he's making your happiest day. How does he do that? How do you have the koiches nefesh to do that? Yeah? How does the Rebbe B'Scharsh get up at every single Shabbos and speak? Come to your bar mitzvahs and simchas and speak, or your brisim and speak. Say, wow, such wonderful people. Stalwarts of the community. Right? You love that word? So, what does that word mean? Yeah? Is that a bad word? Stalwarts, him? Yeah, my car stole still. As Rosh Yeshiva once say, he's one of the stars of the yeshiva. Only comes out at night. So everyone should always sometimes look into to find the real shvach of what's going on. I say, if a Kohen, how's the Kohen going to get up and give a bracha every day? So I went around, I asked people, he says, well, the bracha, the Akdama, Ba'ahava, we have to do Ba'ahava, it has nothing to do with us. The bracha it's not me. It's not me. It's the Ribono Shel Olam. That's the answer, I say. You could smile, and you could shake hands, you could kiss babies, and do whatever you have to do. But the Hagdama of the Birchas Kohanim is Be'ahava. How's it Be'ahava? This has nothing to do with you, it has nothing to do with me. The Ribono Shel Olam runs the world. And you have what you have, and you don't have what you don't have, and it's all from the Ribono Shel Olam. The person knows that. The person has that Emunah, that can bring himself to that Ava. So I thought the Kohen, his Dibur, the Sifsei Kohen, are so Kaddish that every day, take a look, he can give this bracha, so he could say, this nega is tahor, this nega is tameh. This has nothing to do with him. It's not his negiyas. Meaning that guy walks in, let's make this nega tameh. You want to place bets, we can do that. This nega is tahor. No, it's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. It's all ba'av. What I have is what I have. What I don't have, I'll make a shtadlis and don't steal from me. I'll take you whatever I have to do. But if you could every day say Yivarech Hashem, you could train yourself. This course is very, very important. What a person says. So, how can we do that in the Lamaisa? So, I'm going to suggest from something else here that Rav Olbe says that could help us build on this idea that I'm saying. If the Kohen could give this bracha every day, if that performer could get up there, says, it's not me. I have to take the me out of the picture. And the Ribono Shel Olam, he's the one who runs the world. It's nothing to do with me. So, Volba says in his Akdama for the Pirkei Emunah, Kol ha'oine amen b'kol koichai, someone who says amen with all of his strengths, Poischin loi share Gan Eden, it is opened up to him, doesn't say who opens, Poischin loi, they open for him the gates of Gan Eden. Shenema Pischu Sham v'yavoi goy tzadik. Shoyme amunim al tikra shoyme amunim ela shoymim amen. Whoever says amen, Poischin loi share Gan Eden. My amen or Chanina kel melech ne'emon. So Volba continues. What's the amen? Kel melech ne'emon. Poischin loi share Gan Eden. It's not a joke. It's not a malitza. It's not a cute mashal. Wow, the heavenly gates open. It's not Gracetown or something like that over there. It's something real. Derech Chazal legales dvarim ha'imdim meruma shel olam dafke b'maisa katan. Anias amen b'chol koichai hakavana maisa katan, a small action of Emunah. A small maisa, Chazal is megala to us, will open up in front of a person the Shari of Gan Eden. So what is Shari Gan Eden? It doesn't say Muftach lo yishu ben olam haba. It doesn't say you're going to get a lot of schar. Chazal in Shabbos said Shari Gan Eden. What's so important about Gan Eden? What do you know about Gan Eden? What do you know about Gan Eden? Adam and Chava, I don't know, the Kruvim, maybe there's a guy who's always trying to find it somewhere with the 10 tribes. Where is, what's Mazeh? Poisun lo Shari Gan Eden. Ba'olam shalach ha'chet, says Volba. A person could think that we are disconnected and the world is disconnected from the Rebbeinu Shalom. And the world is run by something called nature or Mother Nature, which I think that's like, according to them, that's probably a bad thing. It's not Mother Nature or Father Nature, right? It's not. Have to be fair, no? For Yom Ha'atzmaut. So I said it's not fair. How come they didn't use a female's name, only a male's name? Nisim. Okay, fine. I'm trying to keep it. But Al Kaponim continues. We see in our history mikri, or things that have happened. And we say nature has made this happen. In our own private lives, we attribute our successes to our koiches and the things that we put into them. And all the disappointments we attribute to our wife and other people around us. He doesn't say that. We're totally disconnected from the Rebbeinu Shalom. In Gan Eden, Adam was completely connected. The Toiv and Ra, good, bad, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Adam, it was all connected. When you left Gan Eden, things were disconnected. There's the world, there's me, there's my Chaverim, there's Klal Yisrael, there's Umas Oilam. It's confusing. But someone says Kel Melech Ne'emon, we're called Koyach Emunah Poischin Shar Gan Eden, who atzmai nimsa b'toich Oilam Hazeh. Why is he? He's not a ben Oilam. He's not getting schar. He's getting Gan Eden. Because Gan Eden means clarity. Everything is from the Rebbeinu Shalom. I'm somehow a chelik together with the Rebbeinu Shalom. There's no tov. There's no ra. There's the Rebbeinu Shalom's world. When you say Amen, and you understand it means Kel Melech Lemon, that I believe in Hashem, who he sees right now the Oilam B'Tikuno. Ki Abriya Eina Teva. Our history is not B'Mikra. Ma'aseinu, what we do is not a result of how much koyach we put into it necessarily. He sees the Ratzon Hashem in all of his hanhagas, b'chol hano, he sees chesed, b'chol maisa, he sees his help. Kol ha'olam hoifech loy l'makom shel giloi kvoidoi v'yichudoi yizbarach. He sees in all the world, in all the disappointment, in all the successes, he sees only one thing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Poischen loy sharei Gan Eden. So when a person says Amen, after he came from that get for his child at 3 o'clock, or the court case he lost, or the car accident, or the death, or whatever, the challenges that he has. And he says, Kel Melech Ne'ema, Amen, Amen Yehishmeah, Poischen loy sharei Gan Eden. Because he lives and he exists in a place is what the Bria was supposed to be, or what the original Bria had that koyach, and therefore he has found himself in Gan Eden. I'll just be Messiah. I should be Messiah now. We need a break in between speakers. By first thanking the shul for this opportunity to speak. Hamanti ki adaber, when a person speaks about it more, speaks about Emunah, Baruch Hashem, all these things that sometimes grate on our nerve, but no, Hashem is in his life, and he believes, and he's a Ben Gan Eden, and he's living a life connected to the Ribono Shel Olam. And that Emunah you have, that Emunah you live with. So instead of putting it in your computer, in your car, or in your stock market, or in your bank account, but put it in the Ribono Shel Olam, because you have to have Emunah anyway. I'm just being Messiah. I have a brother, American Loser, who lives in Anchorage, Alaska. Some of the hot days over here, you wish you'd be in Anchorage, Alaska. And some of the days not. So he's a bush pilot. He could probably land here right outside if he could get here. And he originally became a pilot. He actually learned in the same school where the Saudi Arabian kids who learned how to fly and not land into the World Trade Center. And he called the FBI, but they did nothing about it. I would like you to know that. It's people that, it was a flight school in the Midwest, that they were learning how to take off and not how to land. It's a crazy time. Can you imagine? But he went up to Bethel, Alaska. Remember Bethel, Alaska? Beit Kel, Alaska. Okay? That's what it means, Bethel, Alaska. It's west of Anchorage on the Bering Straits. It's cold, it's windy, pretty desolate, but there were a lot of bush pilots there. So he flew up in a bigger plane, and he was getting off the plane, and it was so cold, and the wind, he said the wind was blowing so hard I couldn't even see the floor. It was like, why? It was crazy. So the stewardess said, give it a shot, get off, don't worry about it. He believed her. And he got off the plane, and he went into where the pilots were, for the bush pilots. And as he came in, there was over the radio, is there a dove? It just came in, yes. Put him on the phone. So he gets on the radio, he says, yes, are you a Jew? Right, the name sounded pretty Jewish. He said, are you Jewish? He said, yeah. Like, what, do you want to kill me? So he said, I'm making bar mitzvah this Shabbos. You're the 10th man. If you could please join us for bar mitzvah. So he says, there I am, running away from the Ribono Shel Olam. The furthest place that I could get myself to. And the first thing I'm asked is, can you join us for a minute? You can run, but you can't hide.